89N, exhibited by Jalen M. Smith of Rosebud, Arkansas. Congratulations. Now entering the ring is Class 28 winner bull calves over in your Beef Builder Bull Show. And we are now ready to start your miniature Hereford Open Show here in Broadbent Arena. Again, we're ready to start the miniature Hereford Open Show with Class 1. Again, now in the ring is Class 1 junior heifer calves over in your miniature Hereford Show. And I would like to take this time to introduce your miniature Hereford Open Show judge this afternoon, Mr. Will Banks. Will is originally from Cynthiana, Kentucky, where he grew up on his family's backgrounding and cow-calf operation. Will attended Hutchinson Community College for his associates before transferring to Kansas State University to complete his bachelor's in animal science. While at both institutions, Will was a member of the livestock judging and meats animal evaluation teams. Furthermore, during this time as an undergrad, Will served as an assistant coach for Hutchinson Community College, where he helped coach the champion team at the All East Meat Animals Evaluation Contest. Will and his wife Lindsay now reside in Kentucky, where he works as the risk mitigation coordinator for Bluegrass Livestock Marketing Group. Additionally, Will and his family run Walking W Cattle Company and 32 West Stock Farm, a family partnership centered around raising purebred red Angus seed stock. If you could join me in giving Mr. Will Banks a round of applause for being out here on the green shavings.
Well, good afternoon. It's a pleasure to have the opportunity to come out and sort here at a place that I grew up an hour and 45 minutes away from. As I kind of mentioned in the show I judged on Sunday, it's an honor. It's a great privilege. There's been a heck of a lot of good cattle and cattlemen and cattlewomen that have come through this ring. And we get started with a really nice pair of females over here on your miniature Hereford side. And I think they're very contrasting and the types of cattle they represent. Just a very nice looking, really feminine type of a female that we're going to start off with. The shape of her head and her neck, the way it blends into her shoulder, is just a little bit better than the female that comes in second. I like how she hooks up in her top line. She's dead level there out through her hip. And then substantially just a little bit better in terms of the depth from her heart back into her flank, aids in a really nice silhouette here from the side. I love the hind leg of your heifer standing still, young lady. It's got a stout but yet sturdy kind of set to it. When we get her in motion, she maybe wants to get a little tangled up and narrow from behind, but nevertheless, a really good female to start off with. Love the power and just rib shape in the young lady's heifer that comes in second. She's much more just authentic out the backside of her shoulder blade. I think she reads bigger and squarer and truer there to her pin set and down there through the base of her stifle. We get off to the side of this female. Aesthetically speaking, she's a little more open there at the base of her shoulder blade. She's deeper through the plane of her chest floor than she is back into her flank. She does have just a little bit more bone and just foot underneath of her than the female that goes ahead of her in class. But again, another heifer that wants to get a little upright there in terms of her shoulder blade and too uncoordinated from behind. Nice pair of heifers there. Congratulations to both of them.
And catching you up over in your Beef Builder Bull Show, first place in Class 28 goes to entry number 22 at JPK California Dreamin', exhibited by Jess Collington of Memphis, Texas. And second place in that class goes to entry number 21, JPK Coming in Hot, exhibited by Jess Collington of Memphis, Texas. Those calves will also be your division winners, and your grand champion Beef Builder Bull here at the North American will go to entry number 18, JMS Polo 89N, exhibited by Jalen M. Smith of Rosebud, Arkansas. Congratulations. And your reserve grand champion Beef Builder Bull will go to entry number 22, JPK California Dreamin', exhibited by Jess Collington of Memphis, Texas. Again, congratulations to those exhibitors. We will take a short picture break and be moving into our full-blood purebred Bromby heifers. And placings in Class 1 over in your miniature Hereford Open Show are as followed. First place and automatic champion junior heifer calf will go to entry number 2, KLD Foxy Rosie 55N, exhibited by Kaylin Dops. Congratulations. And second place in that class and your reserve division champion will go to entry number 4, MMH Willow, exhibited by Evie Mitchell. Again, congratulations to those exhibitors. Now in the ring is Class 2 spring heifer calves over in your miniature Hereford Female Show.
Very nice trio over here back on your miniature Hereford side. And I think, I guess at initial glance, you think the two bigger, just a little stouter, fuller looking type of females initially surface to you. But there's a no doubt winner in my mind. And the young man here in front of me brings us a heifer that's just going to be tough to get around today. And I'll say that up front. Talk about one in regard to the angle of her shoulder, the slope of her knee, where her front foot hits the ground. She's got a big, stout hind leg. That's presented to us extraordinarily well, that certainly doesn't hurt things. And then you watch that heifer go from the side. It's very, very effortless. And then you just sit as a judge and you get back off of them and say, I hope that she has some power. I hope that she has dimension. And boy, does she have plenty of it. Bold red, big top, thick ended type of heifer that comes in a really nice balanced package. Every once in a while in motion, she wants to deviate there in her loin and maybe elevate in her tail head just a freckle. But that's a really, really nice heifer to go on and get us started with. Personally speaking, I made 2 and 3 more of a pair, at least in my mind. It kind of makes sense to me to follow up the young man's heifer with the young lady's in second. I think in this particular class, her length of body, her power, her added just stretch and just length is probably one that you can gravitate to. I like her stoutness of foot. I like her stoutness of bone. The aesthetic things about her from the side compared to the young man's that wins, she wants to, again, just kind of drop there at the plane of her chest floor and run just a little backwards there in her hip. But I honestly, young lady, I think that's due to just the way her shoulder assembly is put into her. She's a little too straight and upright, wants to open at the top of it. Watch that heifer go in motion, too. She doesn't hold her spine together, and she wants to elevate in her tail head. I think if you give the heifer that rounds out our class another 100 days, young lady, I can certainly switch that pair. She's baby doll headed, beautiful there in terms of her neck, really, really flat in regard to her shoulder. I think that heifer probably gets out just as loose in her skeleton as any of them. Big picture here, she's the narrowest and she's the flattest, the frailest structured heifer, and probably not an upgrade from just a shoulder angle standpoint either. Good trio, though. Congratulations to all three of them.
And placings in Class 2 over in your miniature Hereford female show are as followed. First place goes to entry number 7 at BK Peppa 165N, exhibited by Colt Berkheimer. Congratulations. And second place in that class goes to entry number 6, Went Daisy May, exhibited by Barkley Went. And third place in that class goes to entry number 5 at THF Sage 523, exhibited by Brenna Thorson. Congratulations to those exhibitors. Now entering the ring is Class 3 over in your miniature Hereford female show. Again, now entering the ring is Class 3. I'd also like to take this time to introduce our official photographer for this week's North American, Lindy's Livestock Photos. Find all your backdrop and ring shots at lindysphotos.com. We do appreciate all those folks, all those young ladies with us this week, taking our backdrop and ring pictures.
Two quality individuals here definitely represent contrasting kinds. The young man that wins to me is just a little bigger footed. She's a little heavier structured and just woofier there through the center portion of her body. I think as an individual and comparatively to the heifer that's in second, she's just very, very good in terms of the turn of her rib. She's got a big enough pin set put into her. You can stop and get her leveled out, young man, and she can give you a nice enough look here from the side. Get that heifer in motion, and it's maybe just a freckle different story. She wants, again, to get just a little too straight up and down in her shoulder for me, maybe just elevate back in her tail head ever so slightly, but a big, stout, high volume type of a female to go on and win this class. Awesome pigmented, very, very just nice looking type of a female that comes in second. And again, long necked, very refined, cleaner about her throat latch, cleaner about her chest floor than the young man's heifer that wins. I definitely think, too, if you study the angle of her shoulder, it's probably set back just a little bit better, and it's laid into her just a touch more ladylike as well. Again, young lady, I think you give these cattle a couple more days, and you could possibly switch that pair. I'm not sitting here holding a crystal ball today. She's too flat, she's too narrow, and a little too uncoordinated in the way she wants to travel for me. Good pair, though. Congratulations to all of them.
And first place in Class 3 over in your miniature Hereford female show goes to entry number 11, Bag Minnie Mouse 53N, exhibited by Landon Withrow. Congratulations. And second place in that class goes to entry number 10, THF Bear 513, exhibited by Evie Mitchell. Again, congratulations to those exhibitors. We will now be ready to select your champion spring heifer calf. Again, now in the ring will be the selection of your champion spring heifer calf.
Four very nice respectives out of their classes here in this first division. I'm not going to take too long. Think a whole lot of the young man heifer here out of our first class. Young lady that was second to him will be reserved. Congratulations to them.
And your champion spring heifer calf over in your miniature Hereford female show goes to entry number 7, BK Peppa 165N, exhibited by Colt Berkheimer. Congratulations. And your reserve division champion goes to entry number 6, Went Daisy May, ET, exhibited by Berkeley Went. Again, congratulations to those exhibitors. We're now ready for Class 4 over in your miniature Hereford female show. Again, now in the ring is Class 4. And over in your Bromley show, we are ready for Class 46A, late spring heifer calves. Again, Class 46A of your full-blood, purebred Bromley show. And first place in Class 46A over in your full-blood purebred Bromley show goes to entry number 33, JBB Connie 550N, exhibited by Colt Pittman of Canadian, Texas. Congratulations. We're now ready for Class 46B.
Very nice trio, but a very contrasting trio. And what I would tell you guys is kind of call your suit. Go whichever card you decide to play because I think all three of the heifers probably have some merit or maybe some discussion amongst the top end of this particular class. From this heifer's shoulder blade back, she's undoubtedly my favorite. I think just in regard, again, the middle part of her body, she looks like a cow. Really, really nice there. Just the depth from her forerib back to her flank. She's got a big top and a stout hip laid into her. And then on top of that, and I'll get back to some structural things in a minute, she's undoubtedly got my favorite hind leg in this particular class. It's big and it's stout. You guys have done an excellent job getting it fit for me, and I think it works in her right. The problem, young man, with your heifer I have, and I think we see it standing still here in her front end, she's just too straight and a little low set in that regard. If we could just adjust her shoulder angle back just ever so slightly, set her back into her knee, and then maybe just close her up at the top of her shoulder blade just a little bit, I can easily just handle using this heifer to win this class again, and I still think she does so for me, but we've got to reorganize the way that she wants to step out of her front end because I love her from her shoulder, the point of her shoulder back. Young man's heifer that's going to be second wants to be a little difficult, not cooperate for us. I know a couple heifers like that I've shown before, young man, but when we do get this heifer to kind of settle down and relax for us out here, I think she's undoubtedly the leader in terms of female quality. She's the longest neck. She's the flattest there in terms of her shoulder. I like the way that heifer gets out of her skeleton off either end compared to both heifers on either end of her. Again, a little bit just harder there, right in behind her shoulder blade. She shallows up just a touch back to her flank. I love her flexibility, but she's a little frail and has extra set to her hind leg, wants to elevate there in regard to her tailhead. Young man's heifer that rounds out the class, again, really, really nice there in terms of just the depth of her body. She's a smooth blending, very just free traveling type of a heifer off of her back legs. Again, young man, compared to the young man's heifer that wins our particular class, she's another one that wants to get too straight up and down up front. And then on top of that, she's not equipped with just the same bulk and mass through the center part of her body. She really wants to narrow back to her pin set, and another one that perhaps elevates in her tailhead. Good trio of them there. Congratulations to all three of them.
And first place in Class 46B over in your full-blood purebred heifer show goes to entry number 34, COYP Naomi 30, exhibited by Colt Pittman of Canadian, Coy Pittman of Canadian, Texas. Congratulations. Now in the ring is Class 47 early spring heifer calves over in your full-blood purebred Bromby show. And placings in Class 4 over in your miniature Hereford female show are as followed. First place goes to entry number 13, SBW Darling Diva, exhibited by Landon Withrow. Congratulations. Second place goes to entry at number 12, WBR Andorra, exhibited by Elijah Olston. And third place in that class goes to entry number 14, LOV Olive, exhibited by Cow Swamp Creek Farms. Again, congratulations to those exhibitors. And now entering the ring over in your miniature Hereford female show is Class 5.
You get back over here on your miniature Hereford side, and young lady, if you want to go on and take your heifer and circle around as well. I like a lot of things about both these females. Neither one of them just suit me just perfectly. I think if we can combine these two heifers and the good that they bring to the table, we'd have one right down Broadway for me. And I'm not taking that's not to discredit either one of them because I think they're loaded with quality, but they're completely different. To me, when the two heifers hit the gate, I'll just be 100% honest with you. I just like the head shape of the young lady's heifer that wins. And I think if you just keep that type of picture in mind, she just is more feminine. She's more ladylike all the way through. Again, I'm not saying she's any longer neck than the heifer that's in second, but she's definitely more refined on the top of her neck. She's definitely just more female-like there in terms of her head and the way her poll is shaped. And then that heifer gets out and goes. She's very flexible. She's very comfortable. She remains really strong in her top line and a very just broody, maternal-looking type of a female. She's given up some power. She's given up some bone. She's given up some dimension to the heifer that's in second. And young lady, that's why it's so hard for me to put your heifer where that we're at. Because from her shoulders back, that thing is big, big ribbed, really, really big top, and stout there in terms of her hip. I love the way that heifer is just stoutness and security. Takes it all the way to the surface as well. She's a little pinched right in behind her shoulder blade. She's a little just off there in the way that her tail head and her loin want to hook into her. And then again, like I said, really big on first impressions. You watch that heifer come in the ring. She's just a little dished out in her face, a little plainer there about her head. Got to see that heifer just look a little bit more ladylike, in my opinion. The young man's heifer that comes next, I thought, is a very competitive third in this class. She's probably given up just a little bit more weight compared to the cattle that just exited the ring. But the good things about her, again, very similar to both of them in terms of just body depth, body shape, and having a nice enough look here from the side. Again, she's a heifer that gets just a little throatier there, a little plainer there through her, just her chest floor. A female as well that when we get her out in motion, opens in her shoulder and gets a little uncoordinated there in the way that she steps out of her hind leg. Young man's heifer that comes next, again, like that one's moderation of frame. I thought that one has some nice top shape, has some stoutness and some dimension to her. Got to see that heifer just a touch more neater there at the point of her shoulder as well. She gets a little too short stepping and high in her tail head. Young man that comes next, big-footed, heavy-structured, really powerful type of a female. She's just too straight and restricted off both ends of her skeleton. The young lady's heifer there that was giving her fits that exits the class, probably just the greenest and the honest in her condition. Like that heifer's length of body. I liked her, just her femininity and her refinement up front. She's too hard and just a little too flat and narrow underneath for me. Good class there. Congratulations to all of them.
And over in your full-blood, purebred Bromby heifer show, your spring calf champion heifer will go to entry number 37, JBB NAILE 502N, exhibited by Caden Elnhart of Leah Lake, Texas. Congratulations. And your reserve division champion will go to entry number 35, MAMB Lynn N501, exhibited by Walker Scott Manbeck of Buchanan, Virginia. Congratulations. And we're now ready for Class 48 late junior heifer calves over in your full-blood purebred Bromby female show. Again, now in the ring is Class 48. And catching you up over in your miniature Hereford female show, placings in Class 5 are as followed. First place goes to entry number 20, KLD Liberty Bell, exhibit 2116, exhibited by Kaylin Dobbs. Congratulations. Second place goes to entry number 19, KLD Lookin' Stella 447M, exhibited by Claire Christensen. And third place in that class goes to entry number 17, A&E Rosie 02M, exhibited by Jacob Stewart. Congratulations. And fourth place in that class goes to entry number 14, 5A Caden's Rewrite the Stars, exhibited by Caden Alexander. Fifth place in that class goes to entry number 15, exhibited by Jordan Jackson. And sixth place goes to entry number 16, exhibited by Nicola Olson. Again, congratulations to those exhibitors. Now in the ring is Class 6 over in your miniature Hereford female show.
Little more numbers in this class and some variance just in regard to size. I'm very comfortable in our class winner. That's a dang good cow, ladies and gentlemen. I think she's really, really nice in terms of her shoulder angle. She gets out and she travels on a stout, bendy, athletic hind leg. And then young man right here, you get her stopped and you get her pulled together. That's a very smooth blending, very strong top, dead level type of a female that's got an awesome maternal look to her. Really, really like that one a bunch. Young lady's effort that's going to come next is the framiest one out here, and that's not why she ends up in second. But I do like the length of body that she has. She's a long-stepping, just kind of taller-made type of a female. Again, like her length of rib. I think she's very honest and she's very genuine in terms of her condition. She's got a nice shape to her top. She's probably just as big and wide and true from the top of her pins and her hip down to the ground and the surface. For me, she's a heifer that gets just a little steep set there in terms of her shoulder. She's a little deeper just in regard to the plane of her chest, back into her flank, and aesthetically like to see her tail head down just ever so slightly, make her a little more coordinated in the use of her hind leg. I like a lot of things about the young lady's heifer that comes in third, standing still, refined and neat there in terms of the way her neck comes out the top of her shoulder. She's flat and she's smooth in that regard, and then she still comes with some dimension, some turn to her rib. When she settles down and wants to relax for us, she can give us a nice look from the side. On top of that, though, you get the heifer in motion. Similar story, just a little bit. She straightens up in her shoulder. Her sternum falls out of her, and she gets a little unbalanced there in terms of her flank line. Got to see that heifer just handle her skeleton just a touch more comfortably out here. Another female that comes behind her that is tremendously good in terms of the center part of her body. Love that one's just boldness of her rib. She's got a big top and a stout hip in her. Probably just a little stouter and more secure hind leg than the heifer that we just talked about. Again, like to see that heifer just tidier there at the point of her shoulder. Maybe make that heifer just a little cleaner at the top of her neck. Hook her up stronger there in terms of her loin. But another nice heifer to come next. The young lady's heifer, similar story there. A bold, stout, powerful, really wide dimensional female. She's probably just the most compact in this particular group. The shortest about her neck. The shortest there in terms of her hip length. Another heifer that we've got to see just come truer back to her pin set. Like to see her just step a little square out of her hind leg. Young man's heifer that rounds out our class. It's given us some fits. Very just honest, conditioned type of a female. Really nice top shape in that particular heifer. She's long enough striding out of her back end. Too straight up front. Just too tight there in terms of her heart and her forerib. Wants to run a little backwards to her flank line. Nice class of them. Congratulations to them.
And first place in Class 6 over in your miniature Hereford female show goes to entry number 23, A&E Clara 01M, exhibited by Jacob Stewart. Congratulations. Second place goes to entry number 21, KLD Looking at Me 875M, exhibited by Karen Briggs. And third place in that class goes to entry number 25, Foxy 405M, exhibited by Victoria Thompson. And fourth place in that class goes to entry number 22, CSE Ekra, exhibited by Cow Swap Creek Farms. And fifth place in that class goes to entry number 26, KAL Princess Lily Princess, exhibited by Sarah Arnold. And sixth place in that class goes to entry number 24, KAL Lil YW, exhibited by KL Enterprises. Again, congratulations to those exhibitors. We're now ready to select your champion intermediate senior heifer.
This is a very nice division over here on your miniature Hereford side. We'll go through and just briefly discuss kind of what I see because I think there's some challenge in what we're going to do between Grand and Reserve. The young man's heifer that won our class, the first class, I suppose, again, she won it just because of body volume, power, dimension, and I think that heifer still has those things out here. She's big-footed, she's heavy-structured, she's got a lot of rib shape. We talked about the front third of her skeleton. She's a little low set and open there at the point of her shoulder. Wants to straighten up just ever so slightly there in terms of her knee. But a very just powerful, dimensional type of a female that I think gets out here and still looks very, very in the hunt of things. The young lady's heifer comes out of the second class, and she's probably a little different gear, I guess, in regard to just frame size, maybe maturity pattern, if you will. but you can't deny that heifer's just presence out here. She's got an excellent amount of female quality. Not the longest necked one that we've seen all day, but very just feminine and beautiful about her head. She ties it flat there in the top of her shoulder, dead level down her top line. Very, very feminine in terms of her muscle shape. Got a great just set there and sweep to her underline, and still steps down with a nice set to her hind leg. Does she have as much bone as either heifers on either side of her? No, she doesn't. But I do think if you actually get in behind that heifer, while she's not just probably as bulging in her muscle or as thick in her muscle as the two heifers that are on either side of her as well. Like I said, it's a deep, very feminine type of a muscle pattern that you got to love and appreciate. You get that heifer in motion, I think that heifer is more than sound enough, young lady. She's very flexible. She's very comfortable. Maybe gets just a little tangled up in terms of her hind leg if you view her directly behind, but a very quality individual at that. The young man's heifer that rounds out our last class, and the things I loved about her there, I still love about her out here, young man. She's really big-footed, heavy-structured, bold-bodied, big-top, really thick-ended type of a female that can still stop and present herself at a very, very high-quality look. Maybe compared to the heifer that we just discussed, she's not just as eccentric and elevated on the front third of her skeleton. She doesn't just read as long and as level there in terms from hooks to pins. And then probably, as we get her back out here, maybe she wants to open just a little bit at the base of her shoulder for her mass that she has up high. Maybe a heifer that wants to track just a little narrower as well. I think a lot of all three of them. I will take one more look at them here and go select your champion in reserve. Congratulations to all of them in this division.
And catching you up over in your full blood purebred Bromby show, placings in class 48 are as followed. First place goes to entry number 43, SW Phoebe 2504, exhibited by Ellen Zingabine of Campbellsburg, Indiana. Second place goes to entry number 42, SW Rachel 2509, exhibited by Ellen Zingabine of Campbellsburg, Indiana. Third place goes to entry number 44, SW Monica 2502, exhibited by Ellen Zingabine of Campbellsburg, Indiana. Fourth place goes to entry number 39, CEF Miss 512, exhibited by Circle C Ranch, Lafayette, Louisiana. Fifth place goes to entry number 40, exhibited by Jalen M. Smith of Rosebud, Arkansas. Sixth place goes to entry number 38, exhibited by Jalen M. Smith of Rosebud, Arkansas. And first place in class 49 goes to entry number 46, JBB Nikki Page, exhibited by Caitlin Elhart of Leah Lake, Texas. Second place goes to entry number 45, JBB Nelly Q 565, exhibited by Cambry Pittman of Canadian, Texas. We're now ready to select your junior calf champion over in your Bromby female show. And over on your miniature Hereford female side, your champion intermediate senior heifer goes to entry number 20, KLD Liberty Bell 216M, exhibited by KN Dobbs. Congratulations. And your reserve intermediate senior heifer champion will go to entry number 23, A&E Clara 01M, exhibited by Jacob Stewart. Congratulations to those exhibitors. Now in the ring is Class 7. And your junior calf champion over in your full-blood purebred Bromby show goes to entry at number 43, SW Phoebe 2504, exhibited by Ellen Zingelbein of Camelsburg, Indiana. Congratulations. And your reserve division champion goes to entry number 42, SW Rachel 2509, exhibited by Ellen Zingelbein of Campbellsburg, Indiana. Congratulations to those exhibitors. Now entering the ring is Class 52 winner heifer calves.
As the two heifers begin the circle over here back on your miniature Hereford side, definitely a quality individual that we go on and lead our class off with. And again, I think that one in regard to having enough foot, having enough bone to support the added density through the center portion of her body, she does that to balance. And then on top of that as well, that's a very smooth blending, just kind of fresh presented, fresh conditioned female, in my particular opinion, to go ahead and get us started with. Maybe a heifer that just ever so slightly gets a little shorter, maybe a little rounder there in terms of her rump structure. Maybe every once in a while wants to just pop her on her rear pastern as well. But a very quality type of a heifer to go on and get us started. Young man's heifer that's going to be second, tremendously good there through the center portion of her rib. She's very just deep and soggy in the center part of her body. Like that one for how strong she is behind her shoulder blade. She probably reads just a little leveler back through her hip than the young lady heifer that goes ahead and wins. We probably got just a freckle too much conditioner on her for me, and I think that kind of plays into just her throat latch, the plane of her chest floor, and then probably for as just mass as you think that she has through the center part of her body, you get behind that female, and perhaps she just wants to get a little too narrow and a little too flat there through her hip and down through her stifle. Nice pair of them, though. Congratulations to both of them.
And first place in Class 52 over in your full-blood purebred Bromby show goes to entry number 51 at JBB Miley 68M, exhibited by Shelby Semernica of Wiley, Texas. Congratulations. We're now ready for Class 53 senior heifer calves over in your full-blood purebred Bromby show. And over in your miniature Hereford female show, first place in Class 7 and automatic champion senior heifer goes to entry at number 31 for Wiley Charlotte, exhibited by For Wiley Farm. Congratulations. And second place in Class 7 and your reserve division champion will go to entry number 32, DMC McCall Vola Versa, 423M, exhibited by Ryder Morrison. Congratulations to those exhibitors. Now in the ring is Class 8.
Very good, but very contrasting pair. And if young man, if you want to kind of go on and circle here to the center of the ring, again, I think if we could take things from both these heifers and put it into one, I think you'd have a heifer that, again, I think does a lot of really good things. And both of these females do good things, don't get me wrong, but we've got some things we could probably tweak on both of them out as well. To me, the heifer that wins the particular class, she's just a little cowier, a little broodier looking, a little softer there through her middle part of her body. She's a little smoother blending from her shoulder into her forerib, just a little softer looking type of a heifer. And while I won't sit here and tell you that I think going away from me her hind leg is particularly ideal, I do think from the side this heifer does have more bend to her hock, a little bit more strength to her pastern all in one, and can maybe give you just a little bit better aesthetic look from that point of view. We got to pick that heifer sternum up in her, got to dial her back in terms of her condition, clean her up about her throat latch and her navel, and probably the most disappointing thing for me, young man, is I wish she had the heifer in second's power. The heifer in second, little outer mark type of a female, uniquely enough, just a touch better pigmented than the heifer that we just talked about. She's real big-footed. She's real heavy there in terms of her structure. That's a bold-bodied, really big top, stout hip type of a female that's wide tracking from behind, young lady. Reed's just a little coarser about her head, a little coarser about her joint work. Her hind leg's kind of an interesting one to study because I think she's got plenty of bend to her pastern, but gets a little too straight there in terms of her hock. Wants to elevate in her tail head. Just got to soften that heifer up in terms of her forerib and her flank as well. Nice pair of them, though. Congratulations to both of them.
And first place in Class 8 over in your miniature Hereford female show goes to entry number 33, KAL Princess Little Looker, exhibited by KAL Enterprises. And second place in that class goes to entry number 34, Double K Spotted Cow, K122, exhibited by Evie Mitchell. Again, congratulations to those exhibitors. Now making her way into the ring is Class 9 over in your miniature Hereford female show. Again, now entering the ring is Class 9. And placings in Class 53 over in your full-blood purebred Bromby show are as followed. First place goes to entry number 53, B.L. Bailey, MS30, exhibited by Megan Schultz of Friendship, Wisconsin. Congratulations. Second place in that class goes to entry number 54, S.W. Harley, 2455, exhibited by Ellen Zingenbein of Campbellsburg, Indiana. And third place in that class goes to entry number 55, Miss BBB 474, exhibited by Natalie Zingenbein of Campbellsburg, Indiana. Fourth place goes to entry number 52, Miss LLB M58, exhibited by Colt Pittman of Canadian, Texas. Congratulations. We're now selecting your senior calf champion over in your full-blood purebred Bromby show. And don't forget to check out lindysPhotos.com, as they are the official photographer and videographers for this year's North American. Check out all their ringside shots and videos and background or backdrop pictures at lindysPhotos.com.
Probably just one of our bigger classes, but definitely a quality class. There's quality cattle that I think make functional cows all the way down through. It's hard not to like our heifer that wins, and I'm not going to sit here and just preach on how perfect she is in every single way, but that's a nice balancing, striking type of a heifer that's got a load of just rib and volume and power. I think just the stoutness of her hind leg is exceptionally good. And then on top of that, from the side, maybe we could get a little more critical in terms of her head and maybe the backside of her neck just a touch. But I don't think that's a bad balance. An ugly female by any stretch of the imagination. She's got a lot of quality to her, and she needs to win this particular class. Perhaps a little loud marked. Perhaps just a heifer that wants to be a little bit more timid in terms of a rear stride. I think, again, the set of her hind leg is really, really nice. But we get that heifer in motion. She doesn't just meet her stride just perfectly. You're getting pretty nitpicky on a heifer that's got a lot of good things about her. Just darn good beef cow that comes in second. Love that one's rib shape. Love her flexibility out here. She's extremely smooth blending. Probably a female that's got just as much condition on her as anything. A little shorter and just plainer there in terms of her head and her neck. Maybe a heifer that we can get off from a rear view, and we've just got to see her with a little bit more pin set and a touch more power to match her body mass. The young lady's heifer that comes third's the complement to that. Really big-footed, really heavy-duty in terms of her skeleton. I think that heifer gets out and, again, travels on a really big foot and a lot of bone work. She is bigger top. She's bigger hip. She's bolder-bodied than the heifer that we just talked about. She's a little pinched in her forerib. Another female that gets just a little bit dished out in her face. Wants to just deviate in her loin and elevate in her tail head. Just a touch too coarse in her joint work, and wants to bow her hock just ever so slightly there from behind. Young man's heifer that comes next is smooth blending, fresh presented, and very, very just flexible in terms of her hind leg. Probably a heifer that gets too straight up and down in terms of her shoulder, really wants to work up in the center part of her spine, deviate there in terms of her loin. Probably could just open that heifer up just a little bit as well. Moderate, really big rib, very broody type of a female that goes directly behind her. Just too straight and restricted there in terms of her shoulder as well. Similar story just in regard to spine and tail head, deeper in her chest than she is back there in terms of her flank. Young man's heifer that comes next, another one. I can appreciate the condition that she's in. She's a long-bodied, long-stepping type of a female, just too straight up and down. Again, in regard to her shoulder design and angle, probably could see that heifer with just a touch more body volume as well. If you like the heifer that rounds out our class from a body volume standpoint, just a dimension standpoint, she's got some of that working to her favor. You could move her up a hole or two if you wanted to with me. That's the heifer to me that's just a little bit more out of bounds in terms of her condition. She's too short and jammed up in her neck and her hip length. Got to see that heifer just come more genuine, more honest, and a little freer traveling as well. Nice class of them there. Congratulations to them. Nice single entry here over on our miniature Hereford side, and a female that you got to love just from a body standpoint. She's really, really soft and deep there from her heart back into her flank. I think she hooks up very strong right in behind her shoulder and maintains her levelness all the way down to her hip. That's a very functionally structured heifer. Could probably maybe just stouten her up there in terms of her bone work. I don't read her just the most expansive there through her forerib or the biggest hipped one that we've seen today, but a very functional, good type of brood cow the young lady's brought to us here today. Congratulations to her on a nice single entry.
And catching you up over in your full-blood purebred Bromby show, your senior calf champion will go to entry number 53, B.L. Bailey MS30, exhibited by Megan Schultz of Friendship, Wisconsin. Congratulations. And first place in Class 57, an automatic intermediate champion, will go to entry number 58, WCCR Ellie 4072, exhibited by Ellen Zingelbein of Campbellsburg, Indiana. Congratulations. And catching you up over in your miniature Hereford female show, placings in Class 9 are followed. First place goes to entry number 40, Lexi, exhibited by Lindy Withrow. Congratulations. Second place goes to entry number 38, KLD Time to Shine 83M, exhibited by KAL Enterprises. Third place goes to entry number 41, DMR Daisy, exhibited by Karen Briggs. And fourth place goes to entry number 37, exhibited by Colton Christensen. And fifth place goes to entry number 36, exhibited by Willa Wetzel. And sixth place goes to entry number 35, exhibited by Jordan Jackson. And seventh place goes to entry number 39, exhibited by Justine McCauley. And first place in class number 10 goes to entry number 42, RJF Miss Emmy Lou, exhibited by Victoria Thompson. And now in the ring is the selection of your champion spring senior heifer.
Another great division that we've got out here. And you guys have done just an excellent job thus far today presenting the cattle to me. You guys have got these things dialed in, and they're a good set of cattle to work through up into this point. Again, I know the heifer that we're going to use in this division. She's a different gear, and there's no doubt about that. And I'll make the same comment to you guys that I made in the Full Blood Simmental show the other night. I'm not here to change the identity of your breed whatsoever. In my particular opinion, we've gotten entirely too honed in on trying to make the breeds of cattle look the same. And so, with that, I'm not sitting here telling you guys you need to go home and you need to raise these things differently. It's just my opinion today. But I do think there's a heifer out here that's got a lot of really good things about her. Young lady there out of our middle class is going to be our champion. The young man that was second to her will be reserved. Congratulations to both of them.
And your champion spring senior heifer over in your miniature Hereford female show goes to entry at number 40, Lexi, exhibited by Lindy Withrow. Congratulations. And your reserve champion spring senior heifer calf goes to entry number 38, KLD Time to Shine 83M, exhibited by KAL Enterprises. Congratulations to those exhibitors. Now making her way in the ring is Class 11 over in your miniature Hereford female show.
Nice single entry over here on our miniature Hereford side. And just a very useful, functional type of a female. I think she's very adequate in regard to the amount of rib shape and volume she's got. She's got some flexibility built into her skeleton off both ends. Maybe to make her balance just a little bit better, we could probably just soften her back into her flank. Maybe just knock her tail head down just ever so slightly. Nevertheless, again, just a kind of functional type of a female and a nice single entry there. Congratulations to her.
And first place in Class 11 over in your miniature Hereford female show goes to entry at number 43, WBR Freya, exhibited by White Buffalo Ranch. Again, congratulations, and she will be your automatic champion senior yearling heifer. Again, congratulations to that exhibitor. Now in the ring is Class 12, your cow-calf pair division. And scratch that last announcement over in your miniature Hereford show. We are moving into your grand champion miniature Hereford female. Again, we will be selecting your grand champion miniature Hereford female here in Broadbent Arena. And catching you up over in your full-blood purebred Bromby female show. Placings in Class 60 are as followed. First place goes to entry number 64, CEF Miss Marie Laveau, exhibited by Caitlin Elhart of Leah Lake, Texas. Second place goes to entry number 63, Miss JMS Remy 07M, exhibited by Jeremiah Gonzalez Jr. of Palestine, Texas. Third place goes to entry number 62, MIP Madison, exhibited by Cambry Pittman of Canadian, Texas. And first place in Class 61 will go to entry number 65, JBB Mila 434M, exhibited by Caden Elhart of Leah Lake, Texas. We're now ready to select your junior full-blood purebred Bromby female in this division. And your junior champion division winner will go to entry number 65, JBB Mila 434M, exhibited by Caden Elnhart of Leah Lake, Texas. Congratulations. And your reserve division champion will go to entry number 64, CEF Miss Maria Lavone, exhibited by Caden Elnhart of Leah Lake, Texas. Again, congratulations to those exhibitors. We're now ready to select your grand champion, full-blood purebred Bromby here at the North American.
If you guys standing ringside or sitting in the stands, if you don't mind, put a big round of applause together for all of our miniature Hereford female exhibitors. They have brought a very, very high quality, highly presented set of cattle that's been a lot of fun to work through, and I'm sure appreciative of that. I know we've got some other things to get through, so again, I'll try to make my comments short and sweet. I'm very, very thankful to have the opportunity from the North American, alongside the Miniature Hereford Breeders Association, for having me out. Again, you guys have been a pleasure to work with, and you should take a lot of pride in the cattle that you have. Nextly, and most importantly in my life, I'd just like to take the opportunity to thank my Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. I'm fully willing to admit to every single one of you guys I'm absolutely nothing without Him and His guidance in my life. But again, the platform that He has given me to share the good news that the gift of eternal life is absolutely free through acceptance through Him. And I hope every single one of you guys today don't ever forget that. And if you haven't made that connection with Jesus, I invite you to do so. Again, the cattle have been really good. You guys have done an excellent job as exhibitors. I'm appreciative of the opportunity. We'll get through your bulls and your steers momentarily. We'll go out and get you a couple champions here in your female show. Congratulations, these exhibitors, one more time. We'll take one more look at them and grab you a champion in reserve.
And your grand champion heifer here at your miniature open female show will go to entry number 7. Again, the grand champion female will go to entry number 7, BK Peppa 165N, exhibited by Colt Berkheimer. Congratulations. And your reserve grand champion miniature Hereford female will go to entry number 40, Lexi, exhibited by Lindy Withrow. Congratulations. And if you could put your hands together for your Bromby judge this afternoon, Mr. Matt Watson, for being out here and evaluating your Bromby show. And your grand champion, a full-blood purebred Bromby female here at the North American, will go to entry number 43. Again, congratulations to entry number 43, SW Phoebe 2504, exhibited by Ellen Zingabine of Campbellsburg, Indiana. Congratulations. And your reserve grand champion, full-blood purebred Bromby, will go to entry at number 42. Again, go to entry number 42, SW Rachel 2509, exhibited by Ellen Zingabine of Campbellsburg, Indiana. Congratulations to those exhibitors. And we'll be moving into your full-blood, purebred Bromby bulls. Again, with Class 69 Spring Bull calves, we will be moving straight into your bull show. And first place in Class 69 Spring Bull calves over in your full-blood, purebred Bromby bull show goes to entry number 72, CEF Mr. 510, exhibited by Circle C Ranch of Lafayette, Louisiana. Congratulations to those exhibitors. Now entering the ring is Class 70 Junior Bull calves. Again, entering the ring now is Class 70 Junior Bull calves. And first place in Class 70 over in your junior bull calf class goes to entry number 47, JBB Estrada 501, exhibited by J. Bar Bromvies of Clarington, Texas. Congratulations. Second place goes to entry number 73, SW Fabio 2521, exhibited by Ellen Zingebine of Campbellsburg, Indiana. We'll now be ready to select your junior bull calf division champion. And we are ready to start your miniature Hereford bull show over in this side of the ring with Class 14. Again, we're ready for Class 14 junior bull calves over in your miniature Hereford bull show. And your junior calf bull calf champion will go to entry number 47, JBB Estrada 501N, exhibited by J. Bar Bromvies of Clarington, Texas. Congratulations. And your reserve division will go to entry number 72, CEF Mr. 510, exhibited by Circle C Ranch of Lafayette, Louisiana. Again, congratulations to those exhibitors. Now making their way into the ring is Class 73 winner bull calves.
Back over here on your miniature Hereford side, and I guess before I go any further, uh, you talk too well of me, Mr. Watson, but it's an honor and it's a privilege to share the ring with you today. I've always had a lot of respect for you and your family both, and the things that you guys try to do there at home. So very, very honored, very, very privileged as well. Dang good way to get us started over here on our bulls. And I'll tell you what, kind of like I mentioned on the heifers. The bull that wins this class, I know we've got a lot of classes maybe ahead of us, but this guy is really, really nice where he is good. That is a nice looking, real good pattern type of a bull that is impressive, surprisingly impressive, excuse me, for how much just turn and rib that bull has, not only as an individual, but amongst these contemporaries in this class as well. That's a big top, thick-ended, really, really nice hip and hind leg on that particular bull. For me, young lady, we could square him up on his front feet. He's not the most masculine there in terms of his head and his neck just yet, and perhaps just a little bit awkward in the way she's set into him. But a very, very nice place to start in our first bull class of the day. Love the length. Love just the durability and ruggedness that comes in the bull. It's in second. He's big-footed. He's heavy-structured. That's a long-sided, just real smooth blending type of a bull. He is a little bit more masculine and man-like there in terms of his head and the crest of his neck. That bull probably just wants to run uphill in his tailhead just a little bit. I think you get on either side of him. He's narrower there through the plane of his chest, flatter there in terms of his heart and his forerib. And honestly speaking, I know he's got more frame in him than the bull that we're going to talk about. That's probably the lightest muscled, narrowest bull from behind as well in this particular class. Young man's bull that rounds out our class, obviously maybe giving up just a little bit more bloom, a little bit more stretch compared to the two that go ahead of him. That bull is raw and he's real good there in terms of his top shape. I do think pound for pound that bull might actually have a bigger pin set, a little more stifle in him than the calf that we just talked about. Nevertheless, probably a bull that wants to give up just a little bit too much in terms of body volume. He's too tight there through his heart and his forerib. Wants to get just a little tight wound there out of his hind leg as well. Good trio there. Congratulations to all three of them.
And catching you up over in your Bromby Bull Show, first place in Class 73 goes to entry at number 81, JBB Crystal's Hawk 66M, exhibited by J. Bar Bromby of Clarington, Texas. That will also be your automatic senior calf champion. And first place in Class 7 and automatic intermediate champion goes to entry number 78, KT Maverick 462M, exhibited by Casten Thompkins of Morgan, Texas. Again, congratulations to those exhibitors. Now in the ring is Class 85 Senior Yearling Bulls. And places in Class 14 over in your miniature Hereford Bull Show. First place in automatic champion junior bull will go to entry number 47, KLD Commander 6N, exhibited by KN Dobbs. Congratulations. And second place in reserve division will go to entry number 48, JT LOV CSC Stormy, exhibited by Cow Swap Creek Farms. And third place in Class 14 goes to entry number 46, HL Choosing 2, exhibited by Jordan Jackson. Now in the ring is Class 15 miniature Hereford Bulls.
Real useful single entry that we've got over here. A bull that I think is tremendously good in regard to just how much volume he has. I like that bull from the transition from his shoulder into his forerib. I like him in regard to just how much top and hip shape he's got as well. I think that bull gets out comfortably enough in terms of his skeleton. Could probably just make him reach just a little longer behind there. Nevertheless, a very useful, rugged type of a bull that's got a lot of doability to him. Congratulations on a very nice single entry there.
And first place over in your full-blood purebred Bromby Bull Show. Again, first place in Class 85 goes to entry number 86, JBB Legend 356L, exhibited by J. Bar Bromby of Clarington, Texas. And that bull will automatically be your senior champion bull. And right now we will be selecting your grand champion full-blood purebred Bromby Bull here at the North American.
Very contrasting pair over here on our miniature Hereford side. I like the bull that wins quite a bit. He's rugged, he's masculine, he's got a striking presence about him. Comes back out of his shoulder, big and wide and expressive in terms of his top. Really stout hipped, wide traveling type of a bull as well. You know, probably compared to the bull in second, we can make him just a little darker about his eye pigmentation, and then just ever so slightly. That bull does want to just roll out on his rear feet and get just perhaps a touch ouchie on his hock as well. But a very, very nice place for us to start. Young lady's bull that comes next, a very youthful, green condition type of a bull. He's functional in terms of the way he's put together. I think a bull that gets out and has enough flex and enough range of motion out of his hind leg. Probably a bull, like I said, young lady, he is a little better in terms of his eye pigmentation compared to the bull that wins. On top of that, though, I would also tell you he's given up just too much volume, just a little too much mass. Wants to get a little straight there in terms of his shoulder and work up in his spine. Nice pair there. Congratulations to both of them.
And catching you up over in your miniature Hereford Bull Show, first place in Class 15 and automatic champion spring bull calf goes to entry number 49. CSC Flavor Flav ET, exhibited by Cow Swamp Creek Farms. Congratulations. And first place in Class 16 and automatic champion intermediate senior bull will go to entry number 51. THF Red Rhino 429, exhibited by Brenna Thorson. Congratulations. Second place and your reserve division champion will go to entry 50. 921 Beetlejuice, exhibited by Devin Larson. Again, congratulations to those exhibitors. And your grand champion, Bromby Full Blood Purebred Bull here at the 2025 North American will go to entry number 78, KT Maverick 462M, exhibited by Cadence Tompkins of Morin, Texas. Congratulations. And your reserve grand champion will go to entry number 86, JBB Legend 356L, exhibited by J Bar Bromby of Clarendon, Texas. Congratulations. Now in the ring is Class 91 group classes. Again, now in the ring is Class 91 Produce of Dam.
Another good pair of bulls back over here on our miniature Hereford side. They are very different, and there's no doubt about that. Where you decide to lay your hat at night can dictate kind of which way you want to, I guess, place these two bulls. For me, I just read a touch more angularity, and the bull wins in regard to his skeleton. I think he's just a little better there in terms of the slope of his shoulder, the set of his knee, the squareness of his front foot. He's got a killer hind leg on him, too. It's big, it's stout enough. It's got an excellent set into it, and it just reaches a touch more comfortable. You get this bull standing still from the side, smooth blending, nice there in terms of his balance. For me, if we can tweak on him just a little bit, there's no denying the fact you get directly behind him. He is flatter there in terms of his rib. He's narrower back in terms of his pin set as an individual and comparatively. We just got to mass that bull up just a little bit, and I think that's probably where the bull that comes in second makes his case to win. He's a little longer. He's a little taller. A bolder bodied, bigger top, just thicker ended type of a bull. And I love those things about him, young man. From the side, he's coarser there in terms of his head and his shoulder. He's a little light pigmented bull that's split there in terms of the pigmentation of his testicles as well. And for as much mass as he has up high, he gets too frail in terms of his bone work and a little tight wound there out of his hip and his hind leg. Nice pair of them, though. Congratulations to both of them.
And first place in Class 17 over in your miniature Hereford Bull Show and automatic champion Summer Senior Bull. We'll go to entry number 53, RJF Curly Bill, exhibited by Victoria Thompson. Congratulations. And second place in Class 17 and your reserve champion Summer Senior Bull will go to entry number 52, CX3 Gunsmoke 180, exhibited by Lane Wetzel. Again, congratulations to those exhibitors. Now making their way into the ring is Class 18 Spring Senior Bulls.
Another very nice pair of bulls over here. Young ladies, darker red, longer feathered bull that's going to win. And again, I think in regard to just having a little bit more length of body, having a little bit more stretch for that particular bull, I like. He's longer, he's leveler out through his hooks to pins. I think that bull, just in regard to making a rugged, masculine, functional type of a bull for that young lady to take home and breed cows, he does that no doubt. Maybe could balance him out just a little bit better in terms of his underline. Probably just soften him back in his flank just ever so slightly. I wish the pigmentation of his testicles matched the pigmentation of his eye because I do think his eye pigment's really, really nice. Young man's bull that's going to be second, big ribbed, high volume, thick, stout, kind of a chunky made bull, if you will. With that, too, he's shorter and he's rounder there in terms of his hip. A little awkward in the way his tail head and his loin wants to transition into him. I don't read that bull probably just as neat and tidy about the front third of his body neither. Nevertheless, good pair of bulls there. Lots of function and utility to them. Congratulations to them.
And first place in Class 18 and automatic champion Spring Senior Bull over in your miniature Hereford Bull Show will go to entry number 54, LOV William E.T. CLP, exhibited by Cow Swamp Creek Farms. And second place in that class, any reserve division winner, will go to entry number 55 at Christmas Jingle Jangle, exhibited by Jacob Hiles. Again, congratulations to those exhibitors. Now making their way into the ring is Class 19 two-year-old bulls. Again, now in the ring is Class 19 over in your miniature Hereford Bull Show. And your over in your Bromby group classes, your first place produce of dam will go to entry number 94, Miss JMS Tiva J210, exhibited by Jalen M. Smith of Rosebud, Arkansas. Congratulations. And your second place winner will go to entry number 93, Miss BBB 2232, exhibited by Ellen Zangebine of Campbellsburg, Indiana. Again, congratulations to those produce of dam exhibitors.
Two very nice bulls over here on our miniature Hereford side. And I think they're very comparable from just not only a condition standpoint, but just a volume, a power, and dimension standpoint as well. And I think if you just keep the two cattle circling, that's where the young man's bull that wins does so just a touch more comfortably, in my opinion. And I'm not going to sit here and tell you that he's not just on the boundary of where he wants to set his hind leg in relation to his framework from behind. But if you watch these two bulls circle from the side, he is easily just more secure in the way his hind leg meets the surface. He's got a nicer set to it. That's a freer traveling, just looser striding bull. And then you get off to the side of him here. That bull is very, very smooth blending. Awesome there in regard to the strength of his top. Dead level out in terms of his pin set. Just a very functional, useful, rugged type of a bull that I thought got out and traveled just a little bit better in terms of his rear skeleton compared to the young lady that's going to be in second. I don't know that my class winner is just as bold-bodied, big-backed, and wide-pinned as the young lady's bull that is in second. He is a really just opened-up, powerful type of a bull that's got a very masculine look to him. Again, on the front third of his skeleton, he's a little too straight. He opens up there in terms of his shoulder. He's got a stout hind leg that's got enough bend in regard to the lower joint work, but he gets just a little bit too coarse and tight there in terms of his hock joint. And that's a bull we'd like to see just evened up a little bit in terms of his testicular descent, too. Good pair. Congratulations to both of them.
And first place in Class 19 over in your miniature Hereford Bull Show and automatic champion 2-year-old bull will go to entry number 56, CSC- exhibited by Cow Swamp Creek Farms. Congratulations. And second place in Class 19 and your reserve champion 2-year-old bull will go to entry number 58, 5A Caden Sky Full of Stars, exhibited by Caden Alexander. Again, congratulations to those exhibitors. We're now ready to select your grand champion miniature Hereford Bull here at the North American. And again, that will finish up your group classes over in your Bromby show. And congratulations to all your Bromby exhibitors for a successful show here at the 2025 North American. That will conclude that part of the ring for today, folks. And again, congratulations to all those Bromby exhibitors on a successful show.
Another outstanding lineup over here on the miniature Hereford side. And I think all the bulls just merit discussion really quickly. We started off today with the young lady's calf, and I told you I thought he was very, very good in class. You get him out here, and he's sure in contention. You love that bull's look from the side. You love his feet and legs. He's got an awesome presence to him. He's very, very fresh in terms of his condition. I know that there's probably a lot of guys that would jump up and down and say, when you've got good big bulls behind him, where can he fit in the lineup, and things of that nature. Quality is quality. Maybe he's a little bit ways from breeding a cow quite yet, but I think as a breeder, you guys should probably be pretty excited when that day gets to come. Very useful type of a bull that come out of the second class. Moderate, big rib, a lot of volume in that particular bull. He's got a lot of function. I think as an individual, as we talked about him in class, probably a bull that maybe got just a little bit tighter round out of his rear skeleton. You get him back out here, and maybe he doesn't come together as good and smooth as some of them, but a very useful, practical type of a bull there. Young lady's bull out of our third division. You loved him for his power, his stoutness, and his mass. He's got an excellent amount of presence to him. His hind leg from the side is as good as any of them out here. He does want to roll his rear feet just ever so slightly, but one that I think's got a lot of good to him. Just a real easy doing, moderate, big ribbed, loose structure type of a bull that won the next division. Probably gets back out here, and we told about it in Division Two. Probably a bull that we could just open up and make just a little bit more massive. Young lady's bull behind is probably just the longest, the tallest, and the stretchiest out here. Love those things about him. He's a functional and useful type of a bull. Got to just see just a little bit more of him in regard from a doability standpoint. I think he could have just a little bit more body to accompany his additional frame. Then we get back here to the older bull that won our last division. Really rugged, a lot of presence in that particular bull, and from a masculinity standpoint, he won that particular division because I thought he moved just a little bit better out of his hind leg. That's a functional, just really good type of a bull that I think has a multitude of different uses, regardless of whether you guys want to do. And again, he definitely is kind of in the mix here. Compared to some of the younger bulls that we talked about, just like us men, the older we get, the uglier we get in the face, and we lose it just a little bit more in the rear end. That bull probably lightens up in terms of his quarter and his hip just a little bit, but I do think a very functional type of a bull, no doubt. We'll take one more look at him, select your champion in reserve. Let's give a round of applause for these breeders and exhibitors one more time.
And your grand champion, miniature Hereford Bull here at the 2025 North American will go to entry number 51, THF Red Rhino 429, exhibited by Brenna Thorson. Congratulations. And your reserve grand champion, miniature Hereford Bull, will go to entry at number 56, CSC exhibited by Cow Swamp Creek Farms. Congratulations.
talk about both of these prospect steers individually because these are the only two that we've got. The young man's up front has got a really nice look to him from the side. He's a long-necked, up-headed, real attractive type of a calf young man. I like the way his top line's put into him. I think he gets out and goes with enough flex and enough reach off both ends of his skeleton. You know, as an individual, I will probably begin to question, will that steer ever develop enough? He's a little narrow underneath. He's a little flatter there in terms of his heart and his forerib. We don't have to have these things ready to rumble and at 12 o'clock today by any means, but I do think that steer naturally reads just a little flatter and a little narrower in terms of his kind. Young man steer behind here is a big, stout, woofy one, and he does an outstanding job of getting him shown to us. I love that one's smoothness. You guys have got him presented extremely, extremely good. He's bold-ribbed. He's big-topped. He's thick-ended. Maybe just a little round at the point of his shoulder, a little rounder there in terms of his rump structure. But again, a stout, heavy-structured, wide-pinned, muscular type of a steer that's got a bright future ahead of him. And again, young man, you're doing a really awesome job. Congratulations to both of them. Young man in the back, you're going to be our champion. Young man up front, you'll be reserved. Congratulations to both of you.
And starting your prospect steer show, first place in Class 21 in automatic champion prospect steer will go to entry number 61, BR Frankie 261M, exhibited by Stetson Lange. Congratulations. And second place in Class 21 and your reserve champion prospect steer will go to entry number 59, Double K Lewis K132, exhibited by Jordan Carva. Congratulations to those exhibitors. We'll now be ready for a Class 21 market steers, 1-year-old to 24 months. Again, now entering the ring is Class 24 market steers.
kind of get rolling here on our mini Hereford Market Steer Show. Definitely on some of these, we're a little ways off from just a cover standpoint, I suppose, and what I would consider market ready. And then there's some build and balance things that we could probably differentiate between two. I think the steer that wins is just the best combination of both things. He's a muscular enough calf that's smooth in terms of degrees cover. I'm not going to sit here and tell you he's quite ready yet, but amongst these contemporary groups, he's definitely got the most cover laid on him. He grabs with a nice enough shape there to his top. A calf, too, that I think in regard to his length of body, the set of his hind leg, and his flexibility out here, he gets out and travels good enough as well. The steer that comes in second is one that you got to appreciate from just a freshness standpoint. He's probably just the most impressive in regard to his top shape. I'm not going to tell you there's the most volume of muscle there, but he's got a nice shape up high, and he's got some smoothness here from the side. Another calf that gets out and goes with enough comfort and sturdiness there to his hind leg. Wants to elevate in his tail head. Wants to get just a little coarse and open there at the point of his shoulder. And that's probably just the narrowest, flattest body calf that we've got in the entire class as well. If you want to switch that pair with me because you think the steer that's in third is a little longer, he probably does have just a little bit more meat on him comparatively. And I do like that calf's extension and his length of body. Those things are real good about him. To me, he's the roundest at the point of his shoulder. He's the roundest there in terms of his rump structure. A calf that wants to get too flat and concave underneath and a little tight wound there in regard to the way he wants to travel out of his hind leg. Good trio of them there. Congratulations to all of them.
And placings in Class 24 over in your market miniature Hereford Steer Show are as followed. First place goes to entry number 62, Ravens Mountain Sparrow, exhibited by Isabel Hiles. And second place in that class goes to entry number 68, KMF Corona Ice, exhibited by Isabel Hiles. Again, congratulations. Third place goes to entry at number 69, Fort Wiley Milo, exhibited by Jacob Hiles. Again, congratulations to those exhibitors. Now entering the ring is Class 24. Again, entering the ring now is Class 24 Market Miniature Hereford Steers.
save everybody just a few steps here because I think we have a commanding class winner that wins very, very comfortably, in my opinion. And again, we talked about the last class. Maybe some of these cattle weren't what I would consider just from a composition and a handling standpoint. Market ready. I do think this calf handles really, really smooth. He's got a fresh top put into him. He's presented to us really, really nicely. And then on top of that, you get behind him. He's got enough pin width. He's got enough dimension to him. You can stop and present him here from the side, young lady. And aesthetically speaking, he's not hard on the eyes either. Smooth blending, excellent in terms of his top line. Maybe wants to work up in his tail head ever so slightly, but a very good place for us to start. I do like the set of his hind legs, standing still, no doubt. Maybe wants to get just ever so slightly a freckle straight, and I think he moves that way just every once in a while as well. But a very good place for us to go on and win this particular class. This calf that comes in second definitely has more than enough cover on him. That calf actually is impressive in regard to how fresh and how nice his top shape is. That's the longest sided, maybe the longest striding calf that we had amongst this entire class. He does have more extension up front than our steer that wins, a little bit more class in the front third of his body, no doubt about that. On the alternative side of that, he's a little bigger there in terms of his sheath. I don't think he maybe just carries his depth of twist as good as our calf that wins, and maybe one that's not blessed with just the same fluffy hair, so he looks a little frailer out here compared to the cattle on either side of him. I hate that the steer that goes ahead and rounds out our class just doesn't want to cooperate for us because that is a really big-footed, heavy-structured, nice handling steer that is class-leading in regard to just how much shape he has out the back of his shoulder. But I do think if you just study the angles of his skeleton, he's deeper and straighter there, set in terms of his shoulder angle. He wants to play out there at the plane of his chest floor and run a little backwards there in terms of his flank line. We just got to see that calf go a little bit softer, in my opinion, off both ends as well. Good trio of them there. Congratulations to all of them.
And placings in Class 24 over in your miniature Hereford steer show are as followed. First place goes to entry number 63, CXL Lightning McQueen, 182, exhibited by Berkeley Went. And second place in that class goes to entry number 67, THF Turbo, 422, exhibited by Brenna Thorson. And third place goes to entry number 64, MFR Lucky, 09M, exhibited by Daniel Lloyd. Again, congratulations to those exhibitors. We're now ready to select your grand champion market steer here at the North American. Again, now in the ring is the selection of your grand champion market miniature Hereford steer.
If I think I got this right, this will be the last time you guys have to hear from me for the rest of the day. And again, it's been a great pleasure and a great honor. And to just echo some of the things that Matt talked about on his side of the ring, I guess when you grow up from Kentucky, this is the one that everybody dreams of coming to every November and having the opportunity to evaluate. And I've gotten to do it this week for the first time, and it's been just an absolute honor and a privilege because I know there have been so many talented, good evaluators that come through this ring, both men and women. And then there's been so many excellent cattle and excellent cattle exhibitors. And so I'm appreciative to share that honor here in Louisville, Kentucky with you guys. Again, I just want to thank my family. My grandfather has gotten the short end of the stick this particular week. My brother has been with his judging team, and I've kind of been bouncing around at work and whatnot. And of course, with everything the way it's going, the weather it's been, we've got a lot of sick calves. And so, Pop, if you're watching at home, thank you for keeping things running. I wish that I could be there to help you, or at least cover the expense of a bottle of Draxon. Again, I'd like to thank my mom and my brother for just supporting me. My brother just finished up his 4-H judging team today for the year. He had a heck of a group of young people. And he's a heck of a coach, and he loves this just as much as I am, and I do, and I'm appreciative to have him watching. Lastly, and certainly not least, I'm so thankful for my wife. She's put up with me for almost 4 months now, I think, and I'm just appreciative of her supporting my dreams, pushing me the best, And again, I just have so many people to thank and so many blessings. Last thing I'll say to you kids, regardless of what the world tells you, keep doing what you're doing because you are doing it in absolutely the greatest country in the world. Just because a bunch of jugheads in Washington, D.C. can't get along and cooperate, we are still the greatest nation in the entire world, in my opinion, and you're doing the greatest activity, the greatest career builder there is. So that was a long way of saying thank you to everybody. Thank you again to North American. Thank you to the Miniature Hereford Breeders Association. It's been a great honor. It's been a great privilege. We'll go out and get your champion reserve steer. Congratulate these young people one more time.
And your grand champion miniature Hereford market steer here at the 2025 North American will go to entry number 63, CX3 Lightning McQueen 182, exhibited by Berkeley Went. Congratulations. And your reserve grand champion market steer will go to entry number 67, THF Turbo 422, exhibited by Brenna Thorson. Congratulations. And congratulations to your premier exhibitor here at the North American, and that will go to Cow Swamp Creek Farms. Congratulations. And your premier breeder this year at the North American will go to KLD Miniature Herefords. Again, congratulations to those exhibitors and to all Miniature Hereford exhibitors for a successful show here at the 2025 North American. And ladies and gentlemen, that will conclude our shows here in Broadbent Arena for this year's North American. We do thank everyone for coming out and being with us this year in Broadbent Arena. Again, we will be finishing up our show tomorrow in Freedom Hall. And at the end of that, that will be our Supreme Drive, so we hope you stick around for it. But again, thank you, ladies and gentlemen, and we'll be back here in Broadbent Arena for your 2026 North American.